software testing course, primarily manual testing. This is going to be a 25-hour session where the course will be mainly manual testing. Will make you learn not only the conceptual part here, but also the real life scenarios. Basically, the objective of this training is to make you an expert in software testing stream. The objective of this training is, from our end, it would be, once you complete this training session, you can be working in any corporate in software testing stream from day one without any hand holding. So this is going to be a 25-hour session. I have the whole course content with me. We'll train you on various software testing tools and help you learn with the usage of these tools with the help of two real-life projects. Before I complete the introductory session, I would like to walk you through the content which we will be covering in this training session of 25 hours. Let's just walk through that. This course is going to cover, it's divided into 4 parts: basic, intermediate, advanced and the expert sessions. These 25 sessions are divided into 4. As you can see here, to start with, we'll start with the basic testing concepts, which will include testing terms, benefits of testing, and most important, first of all, what is software testing. So all of that we are going to cover here. Apart from that, how to perform the testing, test environment, what should be the psychology of a tester, all these things are required before we understand the nitty-gritties of software testing and go into the real life scenarios. All the conceptual part should be very clear. So we'll be dealing with that. After that, we'll be covering phases of SDLC. What is SDLC and what all other phases of software development. SDLC is software development life cycle. So various models which are followed in the IT industry. So even that we'll be following. Then I'll be explaining all those models. Then coming on to the crux part, that is STLC, which is software testing life cycle. What is STLC and where does testing fit in the whole project life cycle? So we'll be dealing with that. We'll learn where testing is actually, where is testing important and how do we do testing in the complete life cycle. So that is another of the areas that we'll be covering. And then you might have heard about a lot of testing types. When you go in the industry, people talk about, okay, this is functionality testing, do regression testing, do smoke testing. So what really is the difference between all of those? What is the meaning of those? How do you do it? Taking the practical examples, taking some applications, and I'll show you how do you do functional testing, how do you do regression testing. So that is also there in our content. Then not just how do you do testing, but how do you do informal testing, how do you do reviews, how do you do walkthroughs, how do you do inspections. Even that is covered in our course. Then going ahead, after you have understood all the conceptual part, we'll come on to how to create the most, this is actually the most, this is also, you can say this is a part of the advanced session, and this is going to be the most important thing. All that conceptual part should be clear, and then we come on to this most important thing, which is how do you create the test cases, which is actually, if you go into manual testing, creation of test cases, execution of test cases, and logging of defects. These are actually the areas. This is actually a task of a tester. A tester is mainly required to do these 3 things. But if you have to do these 3 things, you need to understand all the prerequisites, all the concepts, all the terms. Then only you'll be able to write down the test cases, understand the application, execute them, and log the defects. So going ahead, we'll be covering how to create the test cases, what techniques are used, all that we'll cover. Then how do you execute it, and where can you create the test cases, what is quality center tool, all that will I'll do in this particular course. Then some defect logging tool will do. Primarily we can take up Bugzilla for this. Then this is going to be this is going to be part of an expert session of this training course. How do you create test cases? How do you execute? As I told you, these three things are the only things that are required from a tester. But to do this, all of the prerequisites are mandatory. So we'll do two case studies, or probably three case studies, where one case study I'll help you in creation of test cases, execution. First of all, understanding the application, then creation, then execution, and then how do you log the defect. And there'll be two more case studies where this is going to be completely hands-on thing, where in the sessions I'll ask you to create the test cases, or probably even after the session I'll ask you to create the test cases. And you can first of all, you'll understand with that one case study, and rest of the two you'll create the test cases. You'll get it verified from me, and then we'll see how we can log few of the defects in Bugzilla. So that all of that we'll be doing in this particular thing. Then going ahead, we'll talk about RTMs. How do you create it? I'll ask you to create one of the RTMs, and I'll train you how to create RTM. Then finally we have Agile methodology, one of the very popular methodologies that is being used in the industry these days. So we'll do very briefly, we'll also cover Agile methodology in this. So that should be the course content for this. And apart from that, we are focusing in this training course, we are focusing not only on the theoretical part. And I would say in software testing, you just can't exclude theoretical part, because that is not just a theory, that is actually the concept which one must understand before one is able to do the actual part. So we cannot exclude the theory part, but this training session is not only going to be a theoretical thing. It's going to be a mix of theory, some conceptual part, some examples, a lot of examples in fact, practical real life examples, how it is done in the industry, and then 2 to 3 case studies we'll be doing. So all in all, this is going to be a session where, I would say, if you attend this course, from my end, I think from day one you can be like, it's like you can work without any hand holding. Nobody needs you to train anything else, and you can go in the corporate and work from day one. So this is all about software testing. So if you have any queries or questions, you can get back to me. Thank you.